I grew up in a Christian home. I was saved May the 31st, 1977 at 6 years old. My mom was saved shortly after me, and my dad rededicated his life shortly after that. We grew up in church. We were there every time the doors were open, sometimes even not because my dad worked there. I spent a lot of time in church. From kindergarten to 8th grade, I was blessed and I was able to go to Christian schools. Very thankful for that. I know that was probably hard for them to do, but thankful that we could do that. I was always really shy, quiet, still am, stayed to myself a lot, and was always trying to find my place, where I fit in somewhere. 9th grade, I started at Independence High School, which was huge compared to the schools we had been in. I knew a couple people there from church, and again, just trying to find my place, find where I fit in at. There was this guy who used to sit behind me in class. Every day he would ask for pencils, pens, fingernail clippers. At the time I didn't realize that he was just trying to talk to me. We eventually became friends. Didn't talk much except for at school. The next year, 10th grade, we started dating. Dated for a good while, fell in love, and in the spring of my senior year, we found out we were going to have a baby. I was scared. I was really scared. We were young. We really didn't have a plan. He had graduated the year before. He went in the military to make a life for us. I graduated high school that May, and in August, our beautiful little girl was born. She was the prettiest thing I've ever seen. And I was scared because I knew that I was responsible for her, that her life depended on me. Him being in the military, he was out to sea 6 months and he was inshore 6 months, and we got married when she's a little over a year old. December of 91, we had a beautiful little boy. God just had blessed us, and we were good. He was still in the military, so he was gone a lot. 3 years later, we ended up separating, and 2 years after that, we got back together and we got remarried. Life was good. We were happy. A couple of years into our marriage, God blessed us with another little beautiful boy. He was born with a cleft lip and palate. We knew there was going to be some challenges ahead, but nothing that couldn't be fixed. He was healthy, and to us he was perfect. When he was 3 months old, he had his first surgery. It went well. If you did not know he was born with a cleft lip, you would never know he had one. His surgeon was just awesome, and he just did a really wonderful job. I had gone to a checkup with him and come home, and Krista was sick, and she'd been sick for a couple of days, and I thought she had the flu. It was going around. There was no reason to believe it wasn't that. I come through the door and she passed out. So I headed to the pediatrician's office with her. He ran some tests and wasn't able to get the results that he needed. So he decided to admit her to the hospital. So we were admitted about 6 o'clock that night. And around midnight, he came in the room and he said that the results were back, that he called for an ambulance and they were transporting her to Le Bonheur Children's Hospital, that her platelets were at 1,000 and I didn't have a clue what that meant. Her kidneys were shutting down and she could die. I've never been so scared. And that was the longest ride to the hospital that night. She ended up spending, I think, maybe a week in intensive care. They ran every test imaginable. Couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. She ended up about 7.5 weeks total that first trip before she got to come home. They did blood transfusions, she had platelet transfusions. They ran every test, they talked to every doctor, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with her. But while we were there, and it was on Valentine's Day, we were talking about Jesus, and she invited Jesus into her heart that night. I was so proud, and she was so happy. And I thought, Lord, if nothing else come of this visit, my baby girl got saved. We finally got to go home. We had to come back at first every day, and then it slowly dwindled down to where all her counts were normal. And by May or so, we didn't have to make any more visits to the hospital. Things were good. School started. Nathan's birthday rolled around in October. He had a second surgery to fix his palate. Went really well. God was just so good. January rolls back around. Krista gets sick again. Whatever she had, that time of year seemed to be setting it off. We go back to the hospital. This time she was only there maybe 4 weeks or so. And they were able to figure out what she had, and she had TTP, which is a rare blood disease. At the time, there was only 400 known cases of it in the world, and none exactly like what she had. So now we had a game plan. They knew what she had, so they knew kind of how to treat it, but it wasn't something that had a cure, but they knew how to get her well faster so she wasn't sick as long. Everything went fine. It was in June, we went back for another appointment. This time I had Nathan with me, and the doctor come in, checked her out, said she was doing good, wanted to see her back in a certain amount of time. And he asked me how Nathan was, and I told him he was fine, that he had double pneumonia a couple months before and some unexplained fevers. And Nathan had this little red spot on his face, and it looked like a little heart. And he wasn't born with it. It just appeared one day, and I always said that's where the angels kissed his face. So the doctor walked out of the room and he came back in with Krista's appointment card. And he said, I've also made an appointment for y'all at St. Jude next week. I want to run some tests and you'll be there several days. So we'll put you up in a hotel down there. So we went in the next week. They ran his test. We got a call at the hotel saying the results were back. We go back over to the office and they tell us that Nathan has myelodysplastic syndrome, which is a pre-leukemia that only affected 2% of the population. Here again, we're encountering something that they call Ware with two of my children. They had said that with the pre-leukemia, that sometimes it doesn't go into full-fledged leukemia. And if it did, it would usually take a really long time before that would happen. But they had to monitor him. We had to do, blood tests, and they kept a close eye on him. This was end of June, maybe middle of June. At the same time, the Make-A-Wish Foundation had contacted us, wanted to grant Krista a wish, and she so wanted to go to Disney World. So they made that happen. We found out around the beginning of August that her wish was granted, and we would be there the last week of August, which was happened to be her birthday, and it wasn't planned that way. It was, I believe, it was a God thing. She'd always wanted to go to Disney, and she was going to be able to do that actually on her 11th birthday. Before we left, they had got some more tests back on Nathan, and he was already in full-fledged leukemia. Just that quick. So he was put on a bone marrow transplant list. He was too sick to go with us to Florida. So he stayed with my mom and dad. And Robert and Zach and Krista and I went, and they put us up at Give Kids the World, which is a village for terminally ill children. And it's a wonderful place to be. They doted on her and on Zach. They give us tickets to Disney and SeaWorld and all kinds of places, and told us anywhere she went she had to wear this button that had her name on it. It said Give Kids the World. And we quickly found out why, because everybody in that town, when they see that button, they know what it is, and they would go above and beyond to do whatever they could for her, which was a blessing. Back then, we don't have cell phones, so we would call every night and check on Nathan. The last night we were there, we decided to stay late at Disney to see the fireworks, so we called from the park. And my mom had said that they had got a call that they found a donor for Nathan. He matched 10 out of 10. It was better than a brother-sister match. So we flew back in on Saturday like we were supposed to. We were there at St. Jude on Monday just to get the pre-op, everything ready to go. And then they admitted him the next week to get him ready for bone marrow transplant. Nathan got his transplant. It went well. He was doing really good. They were getting us ready to go to Target House. They couldn't send us home, but they were going to send us to Target House. And Nathan took a turn for the worse. He ended up in intensive care, and his blood pressure was all over the charts. He had bronchitis and pneumonia. He had no resistance to anything, and so he just, it's like it started snowballing. There come a point where they had to move him to a different part of ICU that was for the sicker children. And that day they come and they took him from me, and he had this mask on, and I could see him smiling behind his mask as I went to walk away, and he blew me a kiss. And I had no idea that'd be the last time I was awake. The doctors coming over in Monday morning. It was November the 7th. And they told us things were going bad really fast. And that we needed to call our family in. So we were sitting in there with Nathan. And Dr. Barfield told us, he said, when I cut this machine off, he'll be gone pretty quickly. We had family and friends arriving at the hospital for 3 hours. Family, friends, hospital staff that had become our family filed through his room to love on us and to love on him. And after the last person had left, my baby boy was still hanging on. And I was rocking him. And I leaned over and I kissed his hand. I told him how much I loved him. I told him what a fighter he had been. But it was okay, let go. I told him, when you see Jesus, I want you to run as fast as you can. I don't want you to look back. Mom and Daddy will be okay. Your brother and sister will be okay. But you run to Jesus and you don't look back. And I kissed him again. And his doctor walked through the door and told us that he was gone. That January, we were invited to Make-A-Wish Gala to tell Krista and Nathan's story. It was an auction, and usually they raise enough money. They said to grant a couple wishes. An average wish is about $5,000 a child, or it was then. We told our story, and of course Krista and Zach were with us, and we had to get all dressed up, black tie and Krista kept saying she felt like Cinderella all night. So we told their story, and that night they raised enough money to grant 11 wishes, and Krista was just over the moon. She was so proud that because of her and especially her brother's story, that other kids were going to get to experience a wish like she did. The very next day, she got sick again. We're back at the hospital. This time, they think they have found something that wouldn't cure it, but would hopefully maybe put her in permanent remission. But it was a really intense chemo that we had to do, or she had to do, for a solid week, and then we had to skip 3 or 4 weeks before she could do the second round. Went in, like the trooper she was, did that week of really hard chemo, and come home. She ended back up in the hospital, and she never made it to her second round. On February the 21st, the night before, they were doing a plasmapheresis treatment on her, and her blood pressure was kind of dropping, but that happens when they do the treatments. They didn't think a lot about it. We got back to the room, and she couldn't sleep, so we played games and read books and sang songs and stuff till probably, 11, 12 o'clock. And she was finally sleepy, told me she loved me, and went to sleep. A couple hours later, she woke up and things were going horribly wrong. She started talking gibberish. She couldn't see at one point, and then she could see, and that was scaring her. And sometime that morning, I don't even know what time it was, maybe around 6 or so, they called the Harvey team. They made me leave her room. And I remember pacing in the room next to it, or down the hall. It seemed like forever. And I looked up and saw Dr. Kwasny and Dr. Barfield walking through the door. And Dr. Kwasny said, "We did all we could." And I remember hitting the floor. I don't remember anything he said after that. And Dr. Barfield got down on the floor with me. And of course, we live an hour away, so my family was on the way. Nobody was there but me. And he sat there and we cried. And I never blamed God, because I know that God can see where I can't see. But you wonder why, You wonder why you have all these people that you think deserve it, murderers, or why children? And for years after that, I just flew on autopilot. I had to function because I had to, not because I really wanted to, but because I had to. We had 2 more beautiful children, and I'm so thankful for the blessings God has given us. And I've been through some things. I've made some bad decisions. I've been through heartache, but I know that God allows us to go through those things so that we can see that in the end, He's all we need. I could not still be here today if it was not for God. I could not do this life without Him. I know that God has a plan for my life and for my kids. I don't know what that plan is, but I am excited to see where God is taking us. And I know that wherever it'll be, as long as we follow God, then it's going to be great, wherever He leads. The Bible says His ways are not our ways. I finally have a peace that I've not felt in a long time. I know that God is there no matter what. I know that He's leading us in an amazing direction. I'm very thankful that we have a God that loves us, that doesn't let us fall any further than He can hold us. My name is Ware, and God's grace is enough.